Call the roll, please.
Roy.
Here.
Sexton.
Here.
Arbaugh.
Here.
We're good. We have a quorum.
Okay. I drove by the house on my way here.
Oh, we got minutes.
Oh, minutes. Sorry, minutes. You wouldn't think the meeting was short enough. Any changes or,
No.
okay.
I'll move to accept them.
Yeah. Second.
Hearing no opposition, the minutes are approved. Okay. So I drove by the house on the way here.
So did I.
That's a 4-foot fence, and you want to go 7 altogether?
I actually want to go 6 foot high, but from the edge of the drive closest to the road to the garage, it will need to be about 7 foot right at the gate. So there'll probably be like a 10-foot section that'll start rising from 6 foot to 7 foot to keep it level.
Oh, okay. Is that section on the street or away from the street?
It's away from the street.
Okay.
It's actually right next to the garage, which is about 30 feet off the street.
And people are throwing stones at your dogs?
Yeah, well, it's twofold. So, about 5 weeks ago now, I was outside and I was near the swimming pool working on the swimming pool. I have 2 very large dogs. One of them is a puppy. She's 2 years old. She's a Great Dane. And the other one is a Newfie mix.
Okay.
And she's about 60 pounds. But they bark occasionally when I'm out there, and especially when they're playing. But then I looked over my shoulder and I saw a few kids, and I saw a gentleman that I actually ran into later with another, I won't say an altercation. It was a very lewd conversation I had with him, which I found very offensive, and that was the last time we spoke. And actually, it wasn't much of a conversation. I just kind of acknowledged his presence. I didn't report it to the police because it was just a rude conversation.
Okay.
But that conversation based on everything, I couldn't really tell if it was him throwing the rock or if it was the kids, which again is no big deal. I did talk to some of the boys later who denied, that it was them. But it hasn't happened since.
Okay.
So there was that, and then there was this other individual who spends a lot of time at the hotel. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're right across from the
Yeah.
hotel.
Yeah.
There's a bench that sits out there,
Okay.
and it's been the same guy that's been there for, let's say, at least 4 or 5 weeks now, maybe longer. So I didn't know who it was, but so that was one concern. And then the other concern was based on the conversation that I had with him and some of the comments that he made about my family in the swimming pool. It just made me realize that maybe a higher fence would be good, just so they can't make eye contact with us when we're in the swimming pool and vice versa. I think that would just alleviate all the headache. And that's why I wanted to get a higher fence. Now, the fence itself, when we moved into the property a year ago, we asked for the fence to be fixed. Because basically what they did is they had the substrate that they have around the fence on the inside actually pushed out and bowed the bottom boards. So you can't really have mulch that close because it expands, and they didn't treat the boards. So we have to get it repaired anyway. And based on that, I looked at the zoning laws, and then, I came in, and that's why I asked if it could be raised up to 6 feet.
So are you gonna just add to the existing fence or replace it?
No, it'll be completely replaced.
Okay.
It'll actually be a cedar privacy fence if we can do it. But again, I did talk to him to come in and actually look at the property and give us an estimate, but I didn't want to move forward until I knew what height the fence would be.
Sure.
What is the code restriction then? Is it
I believe
6
so.
foot?
So this is because it's a corner lot, so there's two front yards. So I believe it's 4 foot.
At a front yard
At a
kind of
front
thing.
yard, so, that's where this gets to be tricky, because, they have two front yards.
Right.
So technically, this is a side yard, but it's really also a front yard, so to properly go through this, a variance would be required to exceed the 4-foot.
Is the
What's-
footprint of the fence gonna stay the same? Where it is
Yes,
now is
absolutely.
exactly where the new one would go up?
It will actually
It's not
be,
going any closer to the
Nope.
Fond du Lac Street or towards the front of the house?
we're actually gonna remove the fence as it is and replace it.
Okay.
What's the
Right,
limit
this is-
on a side yard?
I believe it's 6.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my only concern, because we drove by, I know John said he drove by and I drove by, that, as long as it doesn't obstruct the corner and, visibility for traffic and,
Yep.
that would be my only concern.
Which I don't think at the current location it does. When I drove by and looked at it this afternoon here, it wasn't close enough to Fond du Lac Street for me to think,
Right.
however tall it was,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that it would impede
right.
traffic.
It didn't show that.
Now you've got this line marked all around. Is that fence line or is that your property line?
That's the parcel line.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's the
parcel
parcel.
line. Okay, and the fence is just over here, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't actually go anywhere near Fond du Lac Street?
No.
Okay,
No,
so
matter
there's
of
no
fact,
really,
the fence comes to about right here.
right.
Yep.
So there's really no issue with visibility on the corner.
Yeah, that was the only thing I thought
Okay,
of. Yeah.
And code also requires that the post be on the inside, is that correct?
The inside
Yeah,
of the property line?
inside of the fence.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Yes.
the pretty side faces out.
Pretty side faces out, yeah, that's a good way to put it,
Right,
yeah.
the finished side is always
Yeah.
outside. And the picture that you have,
Yeah.
yeah, that is the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, as well.
okay.
Yeah.
Folks who came in, are you here about this?
Okay.
They're for the next meeting.
You're here for the next meeting, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, you'd never guess.
You want
what it was.
to close
close
the
the public hearing and
Yeah.
any comments from the committee?
I have no objection.
I don't see a real issue with it,
Yeah.
even if it's 7 foot tall with the lattice on top, 6 foot with lattice on top. It doesn't impede any visibility for traffic or any way. It's his property next to his driveway,
Yeah.
and it's basically his backyard,
Yeah.
really. I
Yeah.
mean, more than anything.
Well,
It's
we
just
we
important
dealt
that
with
it...
another corner lot a while back and
Right.
came to a similar conclusion. That fence, by the way, has disappeared. I don't know if you've noticed. I was by there the other day.
Did not go by and look at it.
It's gone.
So they entirely came here and then didn't do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, well, they did it, but then they took it down, apparently.
The front part, the front yard, they took it down. The backyard, she still has that small.
Well, we'll just get along with this one here.
Yeah.
I move to accept
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I have no objection.
Is that a second?
I just
Is that a
want to
second?
acknowledge it is a compromise, and then also because of what you said about management issues and your neighbor there. I see that same thing going on. I think you're gonna have to talk to management, But I think the fence, I have no objection.
Yeah, I mean, it's just where the bench is located. I understand they go out, they smoke.
Yeah.
But that individual actually had a verbal assault on my other neighbor. And I think there's a lot of issues
Mhm.
with that.
Sure.
I assume I have a yes vote?
Yes.
And a yes vote, and a yes vote.
Okay, well, that, unanimous.
All right.
With the whole board.
Whole board.
But I really do think that just raising it up will take care of a lot of these issues from escalating it up.
Good.
Good, I'm glad to hear it.
Okay, good.
Thank you very
We
much.
need a motion to adjourn.
Oh, yeah. Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Second, third.
Hearing no objections, we're adjourned.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for your level of detail.